Welcome to Rooted in the Black, where we discuss forgotten legends, haunted histories, and chilling folklore rooted in Black culture and traditions. If you enjoy mysterious stories and spiritual truths, hit the subscribe button.
Have you ever heard someone say, that baby ain't right? Maybe an older woman in your family told you to never leave a baby alone too long, or not to let just anyone hold them. For some folks, that was just superstition. But for many Black families, especially in the South, it came from a real belief that something or someone could take your child and leave behind something else. This wasn't just about ghosts or fairies. This was deeper, rooted in grief, survival, and spiritual warning. Today, we're talking about changelings, how that folklore made its way into Black communities. The idea of changelings originally came from Irish and Scottish folklore, stories about fairies stealing healthy babies and replacing them with one of their own. But when African people were brought to the U.S. through slavery, a lot of those European stories mixed with West African spiritual beliefs and became something else entirely. In Black Southern communities, especially in places like the Gullacy Islands, parts of Louisiana, and the Mississippi Delta, people started talking about babies who suddenly changed. A child who once smiled stopped smiling. One who was warm and cuddly suddenly felt cold, distant, wrong. They weren't seen as fairy babies. They were seen as signs, warnings, or spiritual consequences. In Yoruba belief, there's something called abiku, a spirit child that keeps dying and being reborn. Some believe they came to cause pain to their mothers. You'd see rituals or special names given to try and stop the cycle. That belief didn't vanish when people were forced into slavery. It evolved. It mixed with Christianity and several other religions. And suddenly, a baby that changed overnight wasn't just sick. Maybe it was a spirit. Maybe it was punishment. Maybe it was not your baby anymore. And that's how changeling stories started showing up in Black communities, not in books or newspapers, but through whispers. The baby was normal until it wasn't. It stopped eating, stopped smiling, stared at walls. Sometimes they cried all day, or not at all. Some people swore the child looked older than it should have, like it had seen things. And there were always warnings. Don't let strangers kiss your baby. Don't let people speak over a newborn without blessing it first. Don't leave a child uncovered at night. These weren't just random rules. They were protective. They came from fear, from love, from trying to keep a child alive in a world that didn't value Black life. To keep their babies safe, families did what they could. They used what they had. You might see iron nails or scissors under a crib. Iron was said to keep evil spirits away. Some mothers tied red thread around the baby's wrist. Others kept an open Bible near the bed or prayed Psalm 91 over the child. And if they thought something was wrong, like the baby was a changeling, some went to see root workers, not witches, but spiritual healers. They'd burn herbs, say blessings, or even try to call the child's spirit back. But sometimes they just grieved, because they knew what they were seeing might not have a name. And that's the hardest part. Let's be real. A lot of what people called changelings back then were likely babies with undiagnosed illnesses, autism, sickle cell, epilepsy, or even mental health struggles the parents were silently dealing with. And for some enslaved or poor Black women, calling a baby a changeling might have been the only way to explain loss, or detachment, or postpartum depression. Imagine watching your baby get taken away, sold without any control. Saying, "That wasn't my baby anymore," might have been the only way to keep your heart from breaking. So no, changelings weren't fairy tales in Black folklore. They were trauma. They were warnings. They were survival stories passed down in coded language. And they deserve to be remembered for what they really were. If you've ever heard stories like this in your family, or if you're just learning about it for the first time, drop a comment below.